There was stories of these girls that would leave his house and they would have to swim out in the lake and get away from them. He has a secret room in his house. He put me in there, she said. I don't want anybody to die anymore. I don't want anybody else to die. I'm looking for Ashley.
Season 3 of Up and Vanished is available right now. Listen for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Tougher than cancer, smarter than heart disease, stronger than Crohn's disease. The University of Chicago Medicine is a leading community of physicians, researchers, and game changers. Using the most advanced treatment options available today, their team of experts embrace challenges to make a difference in your life. Visit usechicagomedicine.org to schedule a video or in-person visit at a location near you. Sickness is relentless, and so is the University of Chicago Medicine.
The Parkins and Spiegel Show.
Yeah, Chicago sports for sure.
Afternoons on The Score.
With the 10th pick, the Chicago Bulls select Horace Grant of Clemson.
The Bulls would unveil a lesser-known part of their arsenal, their defense.
Dumps it off. A rejection by Grant.
Fly around like sleek Dobermans.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. Down to 10. Ewing for Smith. Smith. Stopped again. And the Bulls have defeated the Knicks. The Chicago Bulls with a couple of spectacular plays. Oakley rejected by Grant. Myers for Pippen. Oh, a baseball! Scottie Pippen in the face of Patrick Ewing, who did not appreciate it. Here's Johnson. Johnson gets he could not get it off. Knocked away by Grant. It's all over. The Chicago Bulls have won 3 straight NBA championships. Horace Grant comes up with the block to conclude matters.
Talk about the block. He did the last 2 things that mattered the most. He threw the pass back out to John Paxson for the shot. He gets that assist. He gets the block on that last shot attempt to preserve the victory.
The Parkins and Spiegel Show. Afternoons on The Score.
4-time NBA champion, 3 with the Bulls. Horace Grant back with us, Parkins and Spiegel on The Score on behalf of NapJitsu, napjitsu.com. Check it out. An energy supplement twice as effective as a cup of coffee. Horace with us on the Circuit Resort and Casino Hotline. Circuit Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, home of the world's largest sports book. What's up, Horace? How's it going, man?
Hello.
Man, that intro was so smooth.
Uh-huh. Let's play it again. I want to hear the whole damn thing.
Start the whole thing over?
Sweet action.
All right.
Patrick Ewing did not appreciate it.
Hey, Spags, remember NBA Jam, the halftime show on NBA Jam, the Pippen dunk and then Horace Grant fist pump in there?
Yes!
One of my favorites.
Yes. So in your research for open material, you came across that. You're like, I knew I loved that. There it was.
All right. We're good to go? Do the whole thing again? Whole thing again? No, whatever.
No, it's okay.
What's up, Horace? We got you, man?
Yeah, you guys got me, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing very well. Thank you for the time. I can't believe it's already time to talk to you. It's like basketball season never ends, man.
It truly doesn't. I mean, you go to sleep thinking about basketball. I mean, guys are in such physical condition now. They just work their butt off. Even in the off season. So it never ends.
Well, how about you, though, Horace? Did you have to rev it up for the opening of training camp? What were you doing the month before training camp? You can tell us now. It's a long time since those active days.
Well, it was like a Bud Light, something like that. I knew, being a veteran, I knew you can work out as hard as you want to. But when it comes to training camp, you're still not in the shape that you're going to be in to play 82 games in the NBA season. So I didn't work that hard later in my career that I should have. but I had fun for 17 years.
Good for you.
Yeah, the NBA lifestyle seems like it would lend itself to a decent amount of fun, Horace. I would imagine it was fun was not too hard to find on some of the teams you were on.
Well, when you're playing with, Michael and Scotty, and then a young Shaq and Penny in Orlando, and then finishing up with the late, great Kobe and Shaq in L.A., you can just say, I traveled with the Beatles, my career.
God. I mean, it must be ridiculous. I mean, I know that's the comp that they always made, right? That you guys here in Chicago were the Beatles on the road. But did either of those other situations approach it? Was it ever similar in terms of the fanfare in LA or Orlando?
Respectfully, no.
Yeah.
I had just great teammates throughout my career, but the fanfare that I experienced in Chicago, you can't match it because once you win 3 in a row like that, and you have an icon like Michael Jordan, and the city of Chicago was just dying for another winner. The Bears won it back in '85, and they were just dying for another championship, and we gave it to them.
Scott, Horace, we're still scarred by that in a crazy way. Like, we watch sports and Cubs win one, and we're like, that's not enough. One isn't enough, man. Bulls got 3 twice. Thanks. And the Bears, seriously, like the combination, you mentioned the 85 Bears and the 90s Bulls have combined to create a really weird dynamic in this fan base. So it's your fault, is what I'm saying, that we're all so hungry around here.
Well, blame it on the Bulls. Blame it on that number 23 and 33. Blame it on those guys, man. They shouldn't have been such a dynamic duel. And but the city was thirsting for it, man. I mean, getting our heads beat in by the Pistons for about 2 or 3 years. We had to get over that hump someday. In 1991, we did it.
If you saw Bill Laimbeer at lunch tomorrow, what would your first emotion be? Laimbeer, or maybe Mahorn, some of these guys? Would there be a little anger that would rise up still? Because there would be for me, honestly.
Well, I get along with everybody, except for Bill Laimbeer. I talked to Rick Mahorn, I talked to Dennis and Sally and Joe and Isaiah. I talked to everybody except for Laimbeer. And if I saw him at lunch, I would pay my respect because he was a great adversary on the other team. And then I would go in the bathroom and throw up.
Would you maybe undo the top of the salt shaker so it really screws up with his lunch?
No, I send him a Diet Coke or something. Yeah.
You mentioned you and Dennis being close. That's interesting to me because he obviously kind of had the role. I know it wasn't exactly the same, but he kind of had the role that you had for the first three-peat for those teams in the latter half of the decade. Was it weird for you in any way watching him in your role on those teams, knowing what that rivalry was?
No, not really, because you have to give credit to the late Jerry Krause for going out and getting a guy like Dennis to try to replace me. Dennis was a great rebounder and a great defensive player, but he didn't have the 17 and 19-foot jump shot like Horace Grant. But he had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
That is very true. If you played in today's NBA, you mentioned the 17 to 19-footer, would it have been 22 feet? Would Horace Grant have been the stretch for today, knocking down 3 or 4 threes a game?
Listen, with my mindset, I will adapt to it in a heartbeat. I mean, I always wanted to shoot the three. But back in our days, man, if you shot a three and didn't make it, Phil was going to sit your butt down for about 3 to 5 minutes. Are you crazy? get your butt back in there, rebound, and play some defense. No, we had guys like Paxson, BJ, Pip, MJ, Craig Hodges. All of those guys were shooting the three. But big guys, not even a thought process.
Because he'd pull you immediately.
Oh, absolutely. You would sit on that bench for a while.
That's great.
He would just let you marinate and think about the stupidity what you tried to do out there, shoot a three.
63 career three-point attempts for Horace Grant. 4 for 63. You would have improved upon that if you were given more reps.
Why you got to quote those numbers?
I'm just saying. He didn't get a chance, man.
Hey, I was having fun, guys. Damn, I was having fun. 4 for 63.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's got to be a typo. I don't believe it.
I'm with Phil. I got to say,
he's sitting his ass on the bench.
Yeah.
Horace Grant is with us on behalf of NapJitsu, NapJitsu.com. I'm curious. This Bulls team that they've constructed is very interesting. Add Lonzo Ball, add DeMar DeRozan, traded for Vucevic at the deadline. Obviously, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams still here. There's been some talk on fit. Like, does fit matter, or is it positionless basketball, get the 5 best guys, put a ball out there, and they'll figure it out? Where do you come out on that debate between fit and traditional roles, or just get the best talent?
I think the best talent. A lot of people back in the day said when Kevin Durant went to Golden State, it's not enough basketball for Steph, Clay, and KD. We saw what that turned out to be, and I feel that the same way with the superstars we have, with DeRozan and Ball and Zach and Big Vucevic. I mean, it's going to take a little time for that camaraderie to start flowing. But with the talent, man, these guys will figure it out. They're too talented not to figure it out.
Man, I can't wait to see it. I hope you're right, Horace. And I'm really excited about Lonzo. Like, I know DeMar DeRozan is a really good mid-range, create-your-own-shot guy. But Lonzo's overall court vision and his feel for the game, and I feel like Zach is going to love being with a guy like that. Don't you think it's going to help Zach to have Lonzo next to him?
Man, right now, Zach is just smiling because if you're open, Lonzo's going to get you that ball. I mean, I had the opportunity when he was with the Lakers back, and I went down to L.A. for a few games, and I had the opportunity to speak with him. Man, what an IQ on and off the court with this young man. I am so excited that the Bulls pulled the string to get such a dynamic player like Mr. Ball.
Tell us more about your meeting and your interaction with him.
It was all the stuff about, his dad, this and that. And I told him, I said, you stay focused on what you need to do. And that was basically that conversation. That's what we talked about. You stay focused. You stay focused. And he's been focused.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, his dad is so much flash, and it was so much about the brand and everything. And yet Lonzo seems to be incredibly solid with work ethic and with, like, improving at his game every year and admitting what he's good at and what he's not. It takes like a special kind of personality, doesn't it, to do that?
Absolutely. I mean, that's his dad. His dad is going to be his dad. His father's going to be his protector. But Lonzo knew what he had to stay focused on, and that being the best player that he could possibly be and the best teammate. That was his focus. I mean, a lot of people just make the hoopla about his dad, but you see Lonzo just kept working, and it has paid off.
Horace, you were obviously a great scoring option, but it was, like you mentioned, the teammates that you played with often, the third scoring option at most on a team. So I wanted to talk to you about Patrick Williams because they need him to be a star, and they asked him to be a number one guy on their summer league team. But then when the regular season starts, he's obviously going to be behind Zach. He'll be behind Vooch. He'll be behind DeRozan. And then if Kobe White comes back healthy, he'll probably be behind him in terms of volume of scoring opportunities. And that's not to mention Lonzo will have the ball a lot. If you were able to have, a coaching session with Patrick Williams, how would you want him to be approaching that end of the floor where they're probably not going to be drawing up a whole heck of a lot of sets for him to get looks?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say give him my advice in terms of I was there. Play your role, and the team will be successful. If you try to play out of your role, that's when the problem's going to start escalating. You have three. You have Zach, you have Lonzo, and you have DeRozan, and you got the big guy Vukovic down. You probably get about 4 or 5 shots a night. Let's do something else in terms of rebounding, play defense. When those guys go for steals in the open court, if they don't get that steal, you got their back. Defense, rebounding, on occasion, work on that 15-foot jump shot.
It's good stuff, man. It's going to be an exciting year, Horace Grant. By the way, what would you do with a 6'9" point guard with a great body and good court vision who just can't shoot a lick and doesn't want to show up to training camp? What do you do with a guy like that in the NBA?
Oh my goodness! It's amazing that the year before, we were talking, all-star.
Yep.
And that's why guys should work on their game in the off season. He was a terrific player, and I think he still is a terrific player. He just has to get out of Philly because I think, from the fan standpoint, from the office standpoint, and maybe ex-teammates, he has to start over. And I truly think that some team out there is going to give this young man an opportunity.
Horace Grant with
Speaking
us.
Of Ben Simmons.
Yeah, of course. Horace Grant with us on behalf of Nap Jitsu. Why is this product something that you believe in, Horace?
Listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, I started taking it for about a month and a half. I feel like I'm 28. The energy that it gives me, I sleep at night now. Being my age, you can barely go to sleep or even wake up from that matter. But this is the very good stuff.
It's
That's
available
awesome.
in Nap Jitsu, and it's available at Amazon as well.
I bet if you had Nap Jitsu when you were a player, Horace, at least 5 for 63 from three-point range. Don't you think?
Hey, it probably been maybe 7 for 63.
Horace, thanks for the time, man. We'll talk again soon. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Horace.
That's Horace Grant on behalf of Nap Jitsu.
Texters, Horace Grant fans saying, most of those three-pointers were probably like end of the quarter, end of the half-court heaves from Horace Grant.
That's generous. Yeah. That is a generous recollection. I don't think Phil was benching him for half-court heaves at the end of the half. Last night, and this could be very relevant for the Bears coming up soon, there was I couldn't believe it. There was just like an amount of candor from a superstar that you don't often see. It's next on The Score.
Just like I said, I'm proud of our team for fighting, competing, giving us a chance in the fourth quarter. It was a ridiculous way to start the game. I credit the Chargers. They're a good football team on all three phases. I'm proud of all our players. I really am. I wish I could answer all your questions, but I've never had an indoor stadium with a lightning delay. This was a bizarre night for all of us. We got beat pretty soundly in the first half. We came back and we showed some football character. I know we have a lot of that. We're going to lean on here and continue to learn. We got some injuries we got to learn about. We got to get ready for the Bears on a short week. Your feelings are going to get hurt in this league sometimes, and certainly ours are hurting right now.
That's the weirdo coach of the Vegas Raiders, John Gruden.
You're so right.
Bottom of the hour brought to you by DuckDuckGo.
What is it? What is it? Because we're all looking at each other, Tanny, and all of us are looking like, man, listen to him. It's just that he's so practiced and polished because he did the media thing for a while. And
I think it's all the Adderall. He talks like a million miles a minute. He's probably grinding his teeth all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rawr.
He's really feisty and angry, and he's got thoughts that he's not sharing that are right behind his eyes the entire time.
Knock on wood if you're with me.
Coach Gruden, where are your pupils?
This was a bizarre night for all of us. Save that for Vegas.
Right. Yeah,
Vegas trip.
Right? For all of us.
Saturday for the Saturday show. Tanny, you're working the board for the extra bonus Saturday show, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good talk.
I will. No.
Oh, yeah. That was a big news.
Come on. Jeez.
I got to be at a pumpkin patch like your guy, Bulldog Bob Fesco.
I could have gone pumpkin picking. Oh, God. Well, we'll be in Vegas. You'll be at a pumpkin patch. I don't know who's going to be hurting more. That is spectacular. So
I've never had an indoor stadium with a lightning delay. It demands an explanation. I'm not an engineer. I've never heard that. I thought it was a joke, but it affected both teams. I'm John Gruden.
Such a weirdo. So the Chargers are awesome. They are just, in every sense of everything on the football field, quarterback, coach, superstar talent at every level of the defense. They look really good. And with the Chiefs scuffling a little bit, they are trying to say that they're not just going to be some sort of pesky wild card contender. They're trying to make the claim that they're the class of the AFC. And Joey Bosa is the biggest name on their defense, is obviously a superstar player. And Derek Carr going into that game, he wasn't an MVP favorite, but he was on some people's short list. The Raiders have been producing offensively pretty remarkably. He was completing nearly 70% of his passes, and he had been getting a lot of love for how he started the season. And then Joey Bosa got his hands on him.
Ouch.
And he was shockingly candid after the game.
Oh, great. I think we did a great job on both sides, running and passing. We knew once we hit him a few times, he really gets shook. And you saw on CeCe's sack, he was pretty much curling into the ball before we even got back there. So great dude, great player. He's been having a great year. But we know once you get pressure on him, he kind of shuts down, and he's not as effective with the crowded pocket. So that was the key to it.
Can you say that and then just say, great dude, great player? And does that negate the first part? That being said.
Yeah. However, but that is a superstar defensive player, probably top 10 dude in the league, talking about a quarterback in his own division saying, yeah, all you got to do is hit him a couple of times and he turtles. You saw what happened on the sack. And Warren Sharp tweeted out the screen grab of it, and it's true. He sees a hit coming, and he fetal positions it. He just goes down. And it's a hell of a statement to make. And you know how I feel about all of this stuff. I like it. It makes the rivalries more interesting. But for the Bears specifically,
man, you've got one of the best pass rushes in the NFL right now for the Bears.
Correct.
Leading the NFL in sacks, as a matter of fact.
Correct. You are a very live underdog in this game. You're a 5.5-point underdog. We'll talk to Joe Ostrowski in a little over 10 minutes about White Sox Astros, this game, and some other things from the market perspective. But if the Bears are nowhere near the Chargers in terms of overall talent, so I'm not going to say that they are.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of ability to hit the quarterback, no one has been better than the Bears. So if Joey Bosa's scouting report on the quarterback that he sees twice a year is accurate,
bring the house.
Hit him a couple of times, and he's not the same dude as he is with a clean pocket when he's completed 70% of his passes. Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack, your table is ready. This is their game.
And Roquan Smith blitzing, because he's gotten better and better as a blitzer. including some effective stuff there against the Lions. Roquan is good at everything except covering running backs on the wheel route.
He hasn't perfected that
struggle.
yet.
But yeah, no, that's the obvious takeaway here is, okay, thank you for that. And the tape shows it. It's got to be tough, man, to be a quarterback. And your job is to stand in there and just take it again and again and again and again.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't want to, me, I try to always, we will react to it, we'll have fun with it, but words of football people take with a grain of salt. Because basically what he's saying is, hey, that quarterback's not the same guy if you hit him. Everyone's game plan is to hit the quarterback.
Yeah,
right?
It changes them. Like, you get hit in the mouth the first time, and it changes your entire disposition.
Everyone's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth.
Right.
But
that's it. That's the same.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. What did you want Mark Roddy to do to his legs yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
But
stretch them.
Stretch the legs,
yes.
Not spread the legs.
Spread the wings, stretch the legs.
Yeah, they're different things. Both S words. Both limbs. But it was a pretty startling thing to say.
Agreed.
About a quarterback that you are going to see again.
A good quarterback.
But
is
not
having
a great
year.
quarterback. And because that's the thing. Some guys, you get hit and they will keep coming back, right? Aaron Rodgers can win a Super Bowl in a year where he's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, right? Brady, one of his superpowers seemingly is he never takes a big hit. Like, when's the last time someone really got a clean shot in on Tom Brady? It seemingly never happens. Russell Wilson always avoids the big hit. But if you can hit Derek Carr, Boomer Esiason was talking to us yesterday about the Raiders being a sure thing to score points. He was that confident in their offense with Derek Carr and Jacobs and Ruggs and the investments that they've made in the offensive line. He was talking about that is a surefire NFL offense. And they put up 14 points and looked broken basically from Jump Street in that game because the Chargers were getting home on Derek Carr.
Yeah, it was 21-0 before it was anything. Man, I'm watching the Christian Covington sack was on Carr, and he just stands there still and wraps himself up and essentially goes fetal while standing and waits for contact. That's a rough look, man.
Yeah, it's not a good look at all. And so it's just keep it in mind for when we're talking Bears this week. It is very much in play for what they're going to be able to do.
Danny, do you remember the pain or the hurt or just the sadness, even if you knew it was probably the right thing to do, that happened around the trade deadline when all those Cubs went away? They all just went to other places, and some of them had gone other places in the offseason. And a lot of them have done pretty well, and some of them are in the playoffs. I didn't think that I had any more emotional, visceral reactions to things regarding this in me. And then I saw that the leadoff hitters tonight at Fenway Park are Kyle Schwarber for the Red Sox and Anthony Rizzo for the Yankees. Those are your leadoff hitters tonight in a one-game playoff at Fenway Park.
I have emotional attachment to those two baseball players. I have thoughts and feelings about those guys.
You've seen them both at leadoff as Cubs. Rizzo for a while, the greatest leadoff hitter in the history of the game, him and Ricky Henderson, jokingly. Schwarber, Madden kept saying he's going to IF the pitcher. That's what he would do.
Yes.
Go out there and he'd be Babe F. and Ruth. Didn't work out at leadoff here. He's been leading off all year for Washington and for the Red Sox, and he's been incredible offensively all year long. They're hitting leadoff in a playoff game at Fenway Park.
Good for them. It was time for the Cubs to move on. This is like one of those left brain, right brain. You know what I mean? Like I can separate it. It was the logical thing to do because of the corner that they had backed themselves into. Yeah. So I'm glad that those guys are not playing meaningless baseball and they landed in good spots. But damn, that sucks.
Schwarber said some stuff, right? Schwarber said some stuff yesterday about what happened to him.
He's out there.
A lot of people said some stuff.
Yeah, he was up there and he was up
day.
there. He was doing it. No, because we've talked about how, they were treated very well by the front office every step of the way. Were they empowered a little too much? Maybe. It's interesting that Schwarber talked about his time here as a Cub.
I was spoiled when I was in Chicago, making 5 out of 6, playing 2 wildcard games, being able to win a World Series and 2 NLCSs. So I love the playoffs.
And Kyle, you had that moment with your former teammate Anthony Rizzo on the field.
Yeah, still obviously great friend. A lot of history, a lot of time in clubhouses, hotels. Talk about a great human being, and I couldn't be more happy for him too to being in a position like this, that where he's in a postseason, and all the other guys that were, I think Chris made the playoffs too, so congratulations to him. But as players, this is all that we can ask for, is to go out there and win and be in the postseason, and anything can happen.
Oh, boy. It's a good time to remind you that the new podcast called The Run, it's a 10-part podcast about the 2016 World Champion Cubs from Odyssey and from Major League Baseball, hosted by me and by Roy Wood Jr., is airing on The Score starting tonight at 10 o'clock. We're going to be airing those episodes right here on The Score. You can obviously go wherever you get your podcasts and look for The Run. It's a good listen, but the first one is tonight, and we'll be airing 10 episodes. And I was thinking about an episode we did with Theo Epstein where he talked about how, he admitted these guys won early, and that winning early in their lives, early in their careers, presents a different kind of problems for them personally and for an organization personally. And that's how do you keep teaching people who win right away? It can get tricky. And there's Kyle Schwarber admitting he was spoiled on some level.
Hub Arkish in 20 minutes. Joe Ostrowski will tell us why the money's coming in on the Astros and if the Bears are a live dog in Vegas. Joe O next on The Score.
Joseph, come on!
This guy is a machine. All he does is work out and pick winners.
Joe Ostrowski.
We couldn't live without Joe Ostrowski.
That being said, I hate Joe Ostrowski.
So,
My friend of mine is very smart, said, I've been very lucky with gambling. I've never won.
Joe Ostrowski with Parkins and Spiegel on 670 The Score.
Joe O joins us on behalf of PointsBet. We'll talk to Hub Arkish in 15 minutes. Joe with us on the Circuit Resort and Casino Hotline. Circuit Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, home of the world's largest sports book. Joe O! So much to get to, so little time. Why is all the money coming in on the Astros over the White Sox?
Yeah, so I checked in over at PointsBet. I said, what's going on here? Why is Houston money coming in? Because we're not sure about the order of the rotation. What is it? And they said, no, we're actually getting White Sox money. It's 73% of the bet, 64% of the money is on the White Sox, which makes sense since they're here in Illinois, but they're just moving with the market. So the other sports books out there keep moving this series price up. It opened at Astros minus 120. I think, Danny, we were right on it. We were guessing around minus 120.
Yep.
But now we're up to minus 139. So money coming in on the Astros elsewhere. So that's why it's gone up a little bit. Maybe a betting opportunity on the White Sox. They're now plus 110 to win the series.
Okay, well, this is where I ask you who you think is going to win the series and who you would bet on. Joe Ostrowski.
I would bet on the White Sox, and I'm not pandering here. I think this is a coin flip series. Some of the props that I would take a look at, you can bet on the total games played in the series. The favorite is 5. I like it. That's plus 140. There's some value there. I expect this one to go the full 5. That's why the game one start is such a big deal. Which guy are you going to throw out there twice if it ends up going that deep? But the White Sox to be a dog here in what I think is a coin flip, give me the Sox, and I think it's going to be a long series.
I just saw some data, or is it data? I always get confused. That
data.
Lance Lynn, in multiple starts, has a very high ERA with this umpire, who is going to be the home plate umpire in Game 1. Like an ERA over 7 for Lance Lynn with this umpire. And Lucas Giolito has never pitched in a game that this umpire has done. I wonder if Rick Hahn and Tony La Russa will look at that, because I've been leaning towards Giolito if I had the power anyway. So what would that do? What would that do for you?
That's what I'd go with Giolito as well. Bettors pay close attention to that, whether it's specific pitchers with certain umpires or just high-scoring games. Lower scoring games. It's not Joe West, is it? We get that tonight, right?
Yeah, I think that's tonight. Tonight. I was gonna.
Why?
Yeah, because baseball, Joe. Because baseball.
Hey, but he's done. I think this might be his last game, right? Unless he gets assigned a later series,
which he inevitably will.
He's probably going to do the World Series. Yeah,
hypothetically speaking, if someone wanted to, bet tonight's wild card game and bet it fun, how would you do that, Joe?
Okay, so I heard you guys talking about the former Cubs in this game, and that's where I'm going. right? I think you have a little fun if you want to bet on Anthony Rizzo. First off, we've got the narrative, right? The team that drafted him. So we can go there. Here's Rizzo's history against Cole, and this is why he's hitting leadoff tonight. 5 for 9, 3 doubles. 5 for 9 with 3 doubles. So you can go with total bases. We get 2+ total bases. That's plus 100, even money there. To get an RBI is plus 150. If you think he's going to go yard tonight, plus 490 over at PointsBet. So I'm taking a look at these Anthony Rizzo prop bets. It's a great pitching matchup we're going to have with Cole and Eovaldi. There are numerous stats where these guys are 1-2 in the American leagues. It should be fun. If I'd had to pick a side, I'd go Red Sox, but I think we'll have a higher scoring game.
I heard that from a little birdie named Danny Parkins that you think some of the betting favorites might not win some of the big awards here, Mr. Ostrowski, sir?
Yeah, well, I think Robbie Ray is your guy for the American League Cy Young. Ohtani there. NL MVP, I don't know that it's Harper with the way he finished the season. I'm not positive. And NL Cy Young, the favorite flipped about in the last week. So it went from Scherzer to Burns. So I think that one's a coin flip too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You've got a big Robbie Ray ticket, right?
I've got a big Robbie Ray ticket. I hedged a little bit of that, like 20, 22, 23%. And I've got a big Soto ticket. I didn't think that was live. I thought that was dead a long time ago.
I think it's live. With
you
the
do?
Way, yeah, I think you're right. With the way that Harper finished, because it's not going to be Tatis with the way that the Padres crumbled. So non-Harper votes are going to go to Soto. In his first, he has started his career basically like Ted Williams, and that's it.
Yes.
That's it. The on-base percentage and the numbers are just outrageous. And so, yeah, it could be the kind of thing where just a completely stellar season on a bad team trumps anything else.
What about Trey Turner, the way he finished?
Too many. No,
not enough.
Not enough. Too much split time and not enough clarity. I don't think not enough of a weight to the Dodgers winning with everybody that they have. I think you're live with Soto.
Live, okay. I'll take that. But I couldn't hedge because I don't trust these guys. Like I saw a lot of them tweeting about Tatis is still in it when he hit a home run late to get to 39 or 40, whatever he ended up with. I don't know where that's going, but it's fun. I wish we had an announcement tonight or going into these games instead of after the season.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But again, it's baseball. Joe Ostrowski with us on behalf of PointsBet. Bears a 5.5-point underdog in Vegas. Do you consider them a live dog against the Raiders?
No, because Matt Nagy's teams don't win when they're a big underdog. That's why I don't. That was the worst performance of the year for the Raiders so far. They were terrible last night. I mean, they were looking like a top 10 offense in the first few weeks, and then that happened. So are they going to have a bounce-back performance? The look-ahead line was 6.5 to 7. The number was brought down a bit, as you mentioned, to 5.5. So until I see it from a Matt Nagy team, when they're a dog by more than a field goal, I'm not expecting that much. I don't trust him. It would not surprise me if during some sort of a run here in the next few weeks he decides that he's the play caller again. It's going to be fun. We got the Khalil Mack revenge game. I heard you guys talking about getting to Carr, kind of like the Chargers were able to do that last night. Same storyline for the Raiders, though, too. I mean, Max Crosby
He's great.
has been terrific. He's second in the NFL in pressures. He's tied for first in quarterback knockdowns. So they're going to have to watch out for Crosby there. I don't think they're live. I guess it's going to be split like last night with the crowd. There is no home field advantage. Road teams, we keep bringing this up.
I know.
But road teams have a winning record on the season.
Which is awesome. Because I don't think that it's fully, it hasn't fully permeated the gambling markets yet.
Nope.
So there is advantage in if you think that the team this was why I was so confident it was my number one pick last week, Baltimore over Denver. If you think the road team is better, bet the road team if the number's off. I think it's like a pretty straightforward automatic bet for me right now.
Yep. When I'm looking at these matchups on a week-to-week basis, I don't even care if a team's on the road anymore. It doesn't bother me.
Interesting. Well, we'll be in Vegas this weekend, and, Danny's going to be hanging out with the owner of the casino, which seems like a good person to hang out with at the casino.
Speaks, you're making a mistake here.
I told
you.
That's what I said.
Derek Stevens likes to party.
Oh, boy.
And he's going to make sure that everybody has a good time, okay? You're going to want to stay there.
Well, maybe he can hook me up for some White Sox surroundings later on in the day. Maybe I can dream of that. But I got to go see the ball game. Not a ball game, but a football game. But here's the question.
Does he?
What are the odds? Shut up, Danny. What are the odds that Danny makes the flight home on Monday morning? It's a 6 a.m. flight.
My wife leaves Sunday morning. I will be spending all day with Derek Stevens at Circa in the VIP area.
Right, yeah.
No. You guys are crushing it with the ratings. There's no pressure to get back.
Oh,
You're
God.
good. You're good.
Oh.
Just take it off right now. He's not showing up.
Yeah, it's not a big day. A Bears Monday.
No, get ready, Groats.
After game 3.
Game 3 of the American League Division Series and a big Vegas trip that we've been promoting a lot. Not a big radio day. You're right.
Thanks a lot, Major League Baseball. White Sox playing at the same time as Chiefs-Bills. Appreciate it.
Hey, they could have been playing at the same time as the Bears.
Dude, they could have been playing in a city where you can't go anywhere because of the marathon, with everybody landlocked, just sitting at 18th and State waiting to get there, you know?
Yeah.
This is better.
But yeah, it is a 2TV night at a minimum, or a sportsbook night for my 14th and 15th Moscow Mules of the day. Joe, thank you very much, my friend. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, fellas. Sound good.
That's Joe Ostrowski, BetQL Daily, on behalf of PointsBet. I want to talk Urban Meyer with Hub. I want to talk Bears with Hub. I want to know what Hub would do. Not an explanation of why the Bears are doing what they're doing. I want to see if we can figure out what Hub would do with this quarterback situation. It's next on The Score.
Keeping up with the flood of news every single day can be quite stressful. There is climate change happening. There's the pandemic, labor movements, Nicki Minaj's cousin's friend. Hi, I am Gideon Resnick, host of Crooked Media's What a Day. Each week, Travell Anderson, Priyanka Arabindi, Josie Duffy Rice, and I are going to break down the biggest news stories of the day in a way that hopefully doesn't always make you want to cry. New episodes of What a Day drop every weekday at 5 a.m. Eastern. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
There was stories of these girls that would leave his house and they would have to swim out in the lake and get away from them. He has a secret room in his house. He put me in there, she said. I don't want anybody to die anymore. I don't want anybody else to die. I'm looking for Ashley.
Season 3 of Up and Vanished is available right now. Listen for free on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
30 years ago this fall, a law professor named Anita Hill testified about sexual harassment at Clarence Thomas's Supreme Court confirmation hearings. Now, Because of Anita tells the real story of what happened and what's changed. You'll hear from journalists, witnesses, and activists, and listen in on the first public conversation between Professor Hill and Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. That's Because of Anita, a production of Pineapple Street Studios and The Meteor, out now wherever you get your podcasts.